When the Army vacates Middle Head, it leaves behind some of Australia's most valuable real estate. Who this land belongs to and what should be done with it is challenging all levels of government.
If you've got a once-in-a-millennium opportunity, you don't hesitate. You just seize the land. You seize the hour. You grab the land for future generations.
Mr. Carr hasn't got the money. He can't do the remedial work. We're the only people that can do the remedial work.
The government has taken a number of decisions to relocate defence installations previously on the foreshores of Sydney Harbour, and as a consequence of that has devised a long-term plan to return that vacated land to the people of Australia.
The struggle to keep harbour foreshore land in public hands has become a passion for citizens groups and conservationists. This film records the last year of that struggle. It also records how other foreshore land continues to be alienated or threatened by private development, and that the battle for Sydney Harbour is far from over.
It's incredibly important land. It's a fantastic group of defence sites that were there to defend Sydney in the days when it's totally different technology. They've survived, and now they're an incredible scenic, recreational, potentially recreational value, heritage value. A whole load of different factors relate to them.
The big question mark is, do they still want to proceed and sell 120 sites where exactly, you see that position down there where the commando headquarters is. That's where they want to put the 120 sites, and also follow it round where the existing roads are. It's just utter stupidity. I mean, it really belongs to the people, not only of Mossman or of Sydney, but the nation as a whole. And yet there are still defence bureaucrats believe it's their land. It's not their land at all, it's our land.
We own the land, we just own the land. But I really have to say, you can get very emotional about all this if you don't know what's going on. But as I said, these plans here have been very carefully done. They can probably be improved a little more.
Defence have prepared a number of plans. One would have hoped they might have shown the community some of these plans, but they've kept them back as secret plans. Why? Why?
If it hadn't been for our groups, you'd get this additional massive development on the harbour. And let me point out, the one big difference between the defence land on Sydney Harbour and things like the Toaster and all of the other development that's being proposed is none of the stuff on defence land has actually happened. There's no development applications, there are no specific proposal, nothing's been built. So it's as if you could go back in time before the Toaster was built, and the Toaster being the apartment building next to the Opera House, and stop it, and that's what we have the chance to do.
What the government has to understand is that you can't flog off the last remaining significant publicly owned sites around Sydney Harbour to private developers. Those days have gone. People love this harbour. You talk to anybody, visitors, people who live in Sydney, people who just come from anywhere in Australia to Sydney, they love it. And any government who wants to, in a sense, to rape and rake over Sydney Harbour does so at its own cost.